Hey you guys, it's Lauren. Welcome back. So in today's video, we'll be talking about drugstore dupes for some of my most favorite high-end foundations. And I'm so excited because two of these dupes, I don't think I've ever talked about them being dupes for two of my favorites before. The other two I think I did mention, but I wanted to give them a little bit more love. I was throwing some products into my empties bin the other day and I was about to throw these two foundations in there and I'm like, oh my gosh, I haven't talked about these recently. I'll put a video together, and I thought this would be the perfect idea. So I hope you guys enjoy dupe videos. I certainly do. I know it's been a while since I've had a dupe video, so really excited about this one. So yeah, we'll go ahead and get started. All right, so first up, let's talk about one of my favorite CC creams, the Supergoop CC cream in SPF of 35. This rivals my NYX Cosmetics. NYX Cosmetics beats this out. I think NYX Cosmetics has a little bit better coverage. It just wears a little better on my dry skin, but this is a close second. I absolutely love this for the natural looking finish, the lightweight feel. It almost has this like whipped texture to it. It just goes on, as I throw it, oh my god. It goes on so light and airy on the skin, and it just sets so nicely. It gives, like I said, a natural skin-like finish, but it has the slightest sheen to it. I'm wearing it today. It has great coverage. You can see, I don't know if you can tell, but my sunspot is poking through slightly here. I do have some concealer on, but it doesn't cover things completely, but I would say it's medium to buildable, not quite full coverage, but you can definitely get a nice medium finish to this. So I just really love this, and I just love that there's SPF of 35 in here. Of course, not enough for your full SPF coverage, but I just appreciate there's some extra sun protection in that. But something from the drugstore that is so similar in finish and wear and feel, coverage, is the Physicians Formula, the Healthy Foundation. This is also in an SPF of 20, a little lighter on the SPF coverage, but the finish is that same natural, healthy glow, and it feels so lightweight on the skin. And I would dare to say, I think I like this a little bit better than the Supergoop. This sets to such like a gorgeous, like it feels not, I don't want to say wet because it doesn't really have a dewy finish. It has that satin finish, but it just feels like a moisturizer on your skin. It just feels so fresh and lightweight. The Supergoop dries down just a little bit drier. It still has, like I said, a natural finish, but this is just a little bit more comfortable on the skin. So I love this so much, and they just are so similar. The formula is very like light and airy, just like the Supergoop. This formula is just a little bit more breathable. It's a little bit thinner, but still has that like lightweight, like whipped texture. So I just love this. I love the applicator too. It comes with this big doe foot, so it makes it super easy. This is just a perfect like everyday foundation. I just swipe it on, blend it in. You can use a sponge, a brush. It works so well. Even with your fingertips, it blends in really well into the skin. It just looks so fresh and skin-like. It wears really nicely throughout the day. Not the most longest lasting foundation, but it fades nicely. It doesn't like break up. It just blends into the skin as it wears off throughout the day. The shade is a little off for me. So I have the shade LN4. It's a little bit more ashy than I like. I like a more warm tone foundation. So the shade's just slightly off for me, but like I said, it blends well into the skin. I'm gonna link down below all the videos in which I'm wearing each one of these foundations. I feel like that would be helpful. I was gonna insert pictures, but I found that when I zoomed up on my face to get a closer shot, the quality just wasn't there. So I feel like, I don't know, seeing my face in like action would help you guys. So I will link all the shades and the videos and where I'm wearing all these foundations down below. But yeah, so I love the Physicians Formula. I'm really excited to try their, I think it's called the Healthy Elixir. It's more of a lightweight serum-like foundation. I think the coverage is a little lighter, but I'm dying to try that one too. It's not yet available in drugstores, but I know it's on Physicians Formula's website. So let me know if you'd want to see a review on that, because I'm really interested in that. But yeah, I just love that foundation. And then next up might be my favorite foundation of all time. It's like my ride or die, my holy grail. Can't live without it. I would be so sad if they ever discontinued this. But this is Too Faced Born This Way. This gives the most gorgeous, full coverage, flawless, like filtered look to the face. It's just amazing how you can get that coverage from this, but you don't get the cakiness. It just wears so nicely on the skin. It literally just like becomes one with your skin, and just it makes you look flawless. It lasts a long time. Also one of the most longest lasting foundations I own. It wears really nicely. I love this for events. It's just great. And then for a dupe, so I found the most fullest coverage foundation at the drugstore, I think anyway, is Milan's Conceal and Perfect. This foundation covers everything, and just like Born This Way, it makes you look flawless. Doesn't look like makeup-y on the skin. It looks really seamless, and it blends really well. I have the shade Creamy Vanilla. I thought this would be a little bit too light for me, but I found that this does oxidize maybe a shade darker, so just keep that in mind. But I love how this finishes on the skin. It just, like I said, becomes one with the skin. It doesn't like sit on top of your skin like a lot of full coverage foundations can. And yeah, I love it so much. It's supposed to be, on the back it says it's medium to full coverage. I would definitely argue you don't need a lot of this to obtain full coverage. It just covers everything. So flawless. It's supposed to be lightweight, it's an oil-free formula, and long wearing and water resistant. Definitely haven't tested the water resistant capability of this, but it doesn't last as long as Born This Way, but it still wears. I could get a good like 8 to 10 hours out of this. Born This Way lasts probably a full 12-hour day for me. So yeah, I love this foundation so much. I think Milan was the first foundation to come up with this whole concealer and foundation in one kind of idea, which I think it's such a good idea, and you really don't need a concealer with this because it covers everything. It wears really nicely. I find that this is a little heavy. Born This Way, I feel like it feels very lightweight on the skin. And this definitely feels like you're wearing makeup. So just keep that in mind if you're not a fan of heavy feeling foundations. But like I said, it doesn't look like heavy or makeup-y on the skin. It becomes one with your skin, and it just gives you that like flawless filter effect. I love that stuff so much. One of the best, like, is it underrated? I think it's underrated. I feel like a lot of people don't talk about it anymore. I just love it. It's so good. All right, then next up are the two foundations that I was just gonna throw in my empties bin, but I do have a little bit left. So Charlotte Tilbury's Magic Foundation. This, you can tell I get a lot of use out of this. The cap is just like trashed, which kind of makes me upset. This is expensive foundation. That shouldn't have done that. But yeah, the whole, like, is this gold paint? I guess it's gold paint. It started to chip around the cap, but yeah, it's just because it bounces around in my makeup bag. This has been in my everyday makeup bag probably for the last couple of months. It is just a great everyday wearable foundation. It breathes. It gives the most beautiful, like, glow from within look without looking shimmery on the skin. It just gives your skin that, like, young, youthful look. It feels moisturizing on the skin, but I would argue even if you have oily skin, I think you would get along with this because it's not overly heavy, overly moisturizing. It doesn't accentuate any dryness whatsoever. It floats over texture. It looks so pretty on the skin. One of my favorites. It's that foundation that gives the impression that you really spent time on your skincare last night. Your skin looks somehow like plumped and just healthy, and I just love it. It's a very forgiving foundation, especially if you have dry skin. I think you would love it. If you have texture, it's just great. It's one of my favorites. I will definitely restock on that. I was debating though. I was either going to pick up that or I wanted to try their Airbrush. I can't talk today. I was going to try their Airbrush Flawless foundation. That's supposed to be more of like a full coverage matte foundation. I don't usually get on with matte foundations, but there are some that do work for me, like the Pure 4-in-1 Love Your Selfie. That is one matte foundation that does work, and I love that foundation. So if it does work with dry skin, I don't know, maybe I would enjoy it. Let me know if you guys have tried that because I'm kind of curious. But yeah, the Magic Foundation, not a lot rivals it. It's just really great. But I was blown away when I tried Flower Beauty's Light Illusion Foundation. This is just one of those foundations that when you apply it, it just makes your skin look better. Like, you know how you have a crappy skin day, your skin's like dry and crepey looking, you feel like you didn't, apply enough moisturizer. This just like works with your skin problems, which is why it reminds me so much of the Magic Foundation. It really just enhances your whole complexion. It just makes your skin look beautiful, healthy, and that like perfect hydrated look without being too much. Now my only complaint about this does not last. It wears maybe like 6 hours before I notice fading. It will break up a little bit, but it doesn't bother me because it doesn't like break up and look makeup-y. I will say though, this has the crappiest wear time. It might last maybe 6 hours before I notice fading, but it's okay because it fades naturally and gradually. I don't really mind it so much, but I'm telling you, if I work a full 12-hour shift, this is almost off by the end of the day. So if that's a no-go for you, you might not like go along with this, but I can deal with it because it's that perfect foundation when I'm like running out of the house, when I just want to throw something on, when I don't really have to worry about my skin looking its best, because like I said, it really does just kind of smooth everything out and make your skin just look healthy and alive and just works with your skin. This has an SPF of 18. The Charlotte Tilbury has an SPF of 15. So you're getting a little bit of sun protection. The color, in the Light Illusion, I have the shade Nude L3. This definitely leans a little bit more yellow than the Charlotte Tilbury. The Charlotte Tilbury is just that perfect neutral undertone. It really does go well with my skin tone. I might argue this is the best shade match I've ever found in a foundation. It works whether if I'm tanner or paler, just blends into the skin nicely. But the finish of the Flower Beauty is so gorgeous. I almost like the finish of the Flower Beauty a little bit better. It has just quite a little bit more dew than the Magic Foundation. I just saw on Sephora's website they described the Magic Foundation as being a matte foundation. so not matte whatsoever. I would describe it more of a satin finish, and it has like a glowiness to it. The Flower Beauty though, there's a little bit more radiance to this without any shimmer. It's just a more hydrated look to the skin. I just wish this lasts a little better than this. I would say this was better than the Charlotte Tilbury, but I do like the finish of this better because it's just more, I don't know, I just like that dewy look to the skin. So I just love the Flower Beauty. And then next up, let's talk about the ABH Luminous foundation. So I was so excited about this when it first released. I love a dewy foundation, but I have to tell you, I have like a love-hate relationship with this. If I prep my skin really well, this can look gorgeous, the perfect amount of glow and dewiness. It just makes your skin look healthy and bouncy. There's some days I love it, but then other days this enhances like every nook and cranny on my face. And I don't consider myself to have really large pores. I definitely have some issues like around my nose, they're a little bit larger, but yeah. If I don't prep my skin well, this enhances everything. So I'm not a fan of that. It does transfer slightly, but like I said, if I have a good day with it, it does wear beautifully and I like the finish of it. But I discovered NYX's Born This Way from the drugstore, and I'm ending with this one because this is like my new favorite like all-time drugstore foundation. I just absolutely love this, but I think I fell so heavy for this because it reminds me so much of Urban Decay's Naked foundation, which was discontinued. I was so sad about that. I haven't found a foundation like that until this one. I love that foundation so much because it was such a lightweight, it was literally almost like water going into the skin, but it was so pigmented, it covered everything and just gave the prettiest finish to the skin. But NYX's Born to Glow has that same lightweight consistency. It's so thin. You almost, when you apply it, you don't feel like it's going to do much, but it really covers. I would say I can build this up to full coverage. It pretty decently covers my melasma on my face. So I love the coverage of this, and it does have a little bit of a luminosity to it. It's the ABH foundation almost crosses the line to a greasy finish. Like it's dewy, but it can look a little shiny on the face. The NYX's Born to Glow has the most perfect like shimmery base, but there's absolutely no shimmer particles visible. It just gives the prettiest luminosity to the skin. I just love it. It wears really nicely. It somehow floats over your pores and makes your skin look so smooth, but is so thin. Usually I feel like I need a thicker, almost like a, not balmy, but like Milan's Conceal and Perfect. This has more of like a thicker consistency that just makes your skin look really smooth. This is thin, but yet it doesn't sink into any crevices. It doesn't sink into fine lines. I love this. Wears really nicely. The packaging I'm not a fan of. It's in this tube, and when you put it upright, the foundation just kind of pours out of it, so just be careful. I have the shade Natural. It's more of a yellow tone kind of finish. It's a great shade match for me. It doesn't oxidize. The ABH's Luminous foundation, I definitely find that it oxidizes, and it was so tough for me to find a shade match. I actually ended up getting a cool toned undertone, and it still leans a little bit yellow, so just keep that in mind if you want to try it out. But yeah, I love this so much more. Like I said, this is like my new favorite drugstore foundation. I will definitely repurchase this. I would say it's an even better version of the ABH's Luminous foundation because it doesn't enhance texture, but you're gonna get that same like dewy, glowy look. I love it so much. So yeah, new fan of that. All right, so that is the end of my drugstore foundation dupes video. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Definitely my favorites from the video. You guys just heard about the NYX Born to Glow. And then I would say, I think the NYX Healthy foundation is a close second. So these are my two faves. NYX's definitely tops it. I just love this shimmery, glowy finish without it being shimmery. It's just the most perfect finish to the skin. I just love it so much. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and thank you guys so much for watching. Please share your favorite foundation dupes below. What's your favorite foundation from the drugstore? I would love to know. I love hearing about, I love foundations. It's one of my most favorite products to try. I think because it's like a challenge. Like, okay, this person loves this foundation. They have a different skin type than me. Let me see if it works with my dry skin. Let's try this application technique. Let's prime the skin differently. It's like a whole experiment. It's a whole to-do, but I really like it. I think it's fun. So I hope you guys do too. I actually have a concealer video coming soon. I've been having a ball testing out all these different concealers. So that's really exciting. That'll be coming up soon. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Share your favorite foundations below. And yeah, see you guys in the next one.